Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Marjorie, and my intention with these readings is to provide spiritual guidance, self-reflection, and practical healing tools to support you on your personal journey. These are collective readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest, and trust your own intuition above all else. Okay, today we're going to focus on the throat chakra. It's the energy center connected to communication, authenticity, self-expression, speaking your truth, active listening, and expressing your thoughts and emotions with confidence and compassion. Okay, so if you've been holding back your voice, struggling to set healthy boundaries, fearing judgment, or finding it difficult to communicate honestly with yourself or others, this reading may have a message for you. Take a slow, deep breath, set an intention to receive whatever guidance is meant for you today, and let's see what Spirit would like us to know. Okay, the first question I'm going to ask Spirit, what blockage or energy is currently affecting the collective's throat chakra? Please show us clearly, Spirit. Thank you. What blockage or energy is currently affecting the collective's throat chakra? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. The Knight of Pentacles came out. Let's see if there's anything else. Blockage or energy, Spirit, that's currently affecting the collective's throat chakra. Please show us clearly. Is there anything else? Okay. The next question I'd like to ask Spirit is, what is the deeper root, cause, or lesson behind this blockage? What is, the Ace of Cups. What is the deeper root, cause, or lesson behind this blockage, Spirit? Is there anything else? What is the deeper root, cause, or lesson behind this blockage? Okay. The next question I'd like to ask Spirit is, what healing energy, perspective, or action will begin bringing the throat chakra back into balance? So Spirit, please show us clearly what healing energy, perspective, or action will begin bringing the throat chakra back into balance. Thank you, Spirit. Is there anything else? Okay. That one wanted to flip over, but it did not, so we'll keep going. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so let's take a look at what Spirit wants us to, the message that Spirit wants us to know today. So if we look here at what the root cause is, so far what I think Spirit is showing us is that many of us may be approaching communication very cautiously right now. The Knight of Pentacles isn't someone who rushes into conversations or blurts out their feelings. This energy pauses, observes, and takes one careful step at a time. You may have something you want to say, but you're choosing your words very carefully. Okay, that's what this says to me. And as we look at the deeper lesson, or reason, not lesson, but reason for the blockage, we see the Ace of Cups, and this tells me there's something emotionally meaningful at stake. Okay, so for many of you, this could be a new relationship, the possibility of love, emotional healing, or simply opening your heart again after everything you've been through. Okay, because this new beginning matters so much, you're afraid of saying the wrong thing or moving too quickly. or somehow jeopardizing what's beginning to grow. Okay? Now, Spirit then expands the message for us with several cards. There were quite a bit that came out. Let's start with the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords shows us that much of the hesitation isn't actually coming from the present moment. It's coming from old fears and old stories that are still playing in the mind. Swords are all about your mental thoughts, okay? And then the Six of Cups suggests that past experiences, memories, or previous relationships even may still be influencing how you're communicating today. Okay, so some of you may even find yourselves expecting this new connection to unfold the same way the last one did. But Spirit immediately shifts the energy with the Three of Cups and the Two of Cups. Okay, instead of carrying those old fears forward, you're being encouraged here to simply enjoy getting to know this person, okay? Laugh together, build friendship, allow the connection to develop naturally without putting unnecessary pressure on it, okay? And then finally, with the Two of Pentacles, this reminds us to stay balanced. Balance your heart with your mind is basically what I think Spirit is saying here, okay? Balance also speaking your truth with allowing the relationship room to breathe, okay? Just find that happy medium there. Not every conversation has to happen all at once. Keep that in mind, okay? So healthy communication unfolds over time. You'll know when the right time is to, speak your truth or whatever's on your mind or your heart. You can figure that out, I'm sure. So just try to, enjoy the connection, the new connection. Try not to bring the past into it or fear that this new connection is going to play out just like the last one did. And just enjoy yourself and enjoy the person, okay? And get to know them, okay? And use your discernment, of course, right? Okay, so I think overall message is this. Yes, move thoughtfully, but don't let fear from the past silence your authentic voice, okay? Just let this new connection reveal itself, one conversation at a time. And trust that honesty and balance will create a much stronger foundation than overthinking ever could, okay? So the progression moves slowly because something previous, I don't know what I'm saying, because something precious is what I meant to say, is beginning, and fear could interrupt it, but it comes from the past, okay? So try not to let that happen. And focus on relaxing, enjoying, and letting friendship and connection develop over time, okay? Just find that emotional balance. Okay, so caution is wise, fear is not, okay? I think that's pretty simple. And just remember, there's a difference between moving slowly because you're honoring yourself and moving slowly because you're afraid. Those are two different things. So again, Spirit's encouraging you to choose your wisdom over fear, okay? All right, so before we move into the next part of the reading, I want you to take a moment to reflect on how this message may be showing up in your own life. Perhaps you've been holding back your truth because you're afraid of repeating the past. Maybe you're learning to trust again after heartbreak, or you're finding your voice in a relationship that's just beginning, okay? Whatever your situation is, remember that healing often happens one honest conversation at a time, okay? So a few journal prompts that you may want to reflect on after today's reading are: where in my life am I holding back my authentic voice because of past experiences? Am I communicating from my present reality or from fears created by my past? What truth have I been afraid to express, and what would it feel like to speak it with love and confidence? How can I balance being cautious while still allowing new connections to develop naturally? And what would trusting myself sound and feel like in my communication? Okay, so if these messages are resonating with you and you're enjoying these chakra healing readings, I'd love to invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future readings. Okay, my hope is that these messages not only provide spiritual guidance, but also encourage healing, self-awareness, and personal growth as we continue this journey together. Okay, so now let's see what Spirit would like us to explore next. Okay, so let's, oh, the Four of Wands already flipped over. We'll leave that off to the side. So what I'd like to ask Spirit is, what truth is the collective's throat chakra ready to express now that it's beginning to heal? What truth is the collective's throat chakra ready to express now that it's beginning to heal? Show us clearly, please, Spirit. Thank you. What truth is the collective's throat chakra ready to express now that it's beginning to heal? Thank you. We have the Seven of Wands, the Fool, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, let's go through the rest of the deck. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, let's ask, what is the most important message that you have for us, Spirit, or that you want the collective to remember about their communication and self-expression at this time? Please show us clearly. The most important message, Spirit, that you want the collective to remember about their communication and self-expression at this time. What is the most important message, Spirit, that you want the collective to remember about their communication and self-expression at this time? Thank you, Spirit. The Nine of Cups came out. Is there anything else? Okay. And lastly, I'd like to ask Spirit, what outcome or energy becomes possible as the collective continues healing and speaking their authentic truth? Okay. Spirit, what outcome or energy becomes possible as the collective continues healing and speaking their authentic truth? Thank you. Anything else, Spirit? Nope. Okay. So, Ten of Wands. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this now. Okay. So I see what Spirit is revealing to us, and I think well, for the question about what truth is the collective's throat chakra ready to express now that it's beginning to heal, we got the Seven of Wands, the Fool, and the Seven of Pentacles. We got the Four of Wands too, that jumped out before I even asked the question, if you remember that. So personally, I pay attention when a card wants to be seen like that. So I do feel it's adding an important layer to the message. The Four of Wands tells me many of you are no longer interested in temporary connections or relationships that lack stability. You're ready to express that you're looking for something with a solid foundation, something built on trust and honesty and mutual commitment. Okay? Now, the Seven of Wands says you're becoming more comfortable communicating your boundaries instead of saying yes when you mean no, or staying quiet to avoid conflict. Oh, they're going to start shooting off fireworks. You're beginning to honor your own needs and values, okay? Then we have the Fool, which tells me you're also ready to take a leap of faith. You're willing to open your heart again, but this time you're doing it with greater wisdom than before, okay? And then finally, the Seven of Pentacles reminds us that healthy relationships are investments. They're built through patience and honesty, consistency, and open communication. So you're no longer looking for instant results. You want something that has the potential to grow over time, okay? And then I asked, what is the most important message Spirit wants the collective to remember, excuse me, about their communication and their self-expression? And the answer we got was the Nine of Cups, okay? I love this card here because it reminds us that our happiness isn't something we should expect other people to guess, okay? So if something is important to you, if you have emotional needs, if you have dreams, hopes, or expectations within a relationship, you have to speak them, okay? Healthy communication isn't expecting someone to read your mind. It's allowing yourself to express what genuinely brings you joy, what makes you feel loved, and what helps you feel emotionally safe, okay? Your voice matters just as much as your heart, okay? And then finally, I asked what outcome becomes possible as you continue healing your throat chakra and speaking your authentic truth. And we have the Ten of Wands. Now, this feels like relief to me, right? Many of us don't realize how heavy it becomes to carry around all the words we've never spoken. Holding back our feelings and avoiding difficult conversations, or just constantly worrying about how someone might react, it creates an emotional weight that we carry every day, and it becomes pretty heavy. So the Ten of Wands tells me that burden begins to lift, okay? Not necessarily because every conversation goes perfectly, but because you're no longer carrying everything by yourself. So speaking your truth frees you from carrying what was never meant to stay bottled up inside, okay? I also noticed a beautiful overall lesson in the entire spread here. At the beginning, the collective was protecting their heart by staying quiet, but by the end of the reading, the collective is protecting their heart by speaking honestly. That's a huge shift. So I think I would end this whole spread here with one sentence, really, and that is, your healed throat chakra doesn't ask you to say everything, right? It asks you to say what is true at the right time, with love, honesty, and healthy boundaries. So that feels like what the core message is here today from Spirit, okay? So as we bring today's reading to a close, let's shift our focus from awareness into healing. Tarot helps us recognize where our energy may be blocked, but true transformation happens when we begin supporting that healing in our everyday lives through intentional practice, okay? So if today's message resonated with you, here are a few tools you can work with this week to continue opening and balancing your throat chakra. I'll start with some affirmations, then I'll mention some sound healing, crystals, and essential oils and body movement, okay? So let's start with the affirmations. My voice deserves to be heard. I express my truth with confidence, kindness, and compassion. I express my truth with confidence, kindness, and compassion. I communicate honestly while honoring healthy boundaries. I trust myself to say what needs to be said at the right time. My authentic voice creates deeper and healthier connections. Okay, so some sound healing. The throat chakra resonates with 741 hertz, It's a frequency often associated with authentic self-expression, clarity, and speaking your truth. So you may enjoy listening to that. You may also enjoy chanting or humming, singing, or simply spending a few minutes in silence, allowing yourself to become aware of your own inner voice, okay? Some crystals, some wonderful crystals to work with include blue lace agate, aquamarine, sodalite, amazonite, AMAZONITE, and lapis lazuli, LAZULI. Some essential oils are eucalyptus, peppermint, chamomile, sage, and blue tansy, Tansy, TANSY. Okay. Now, for body movement, you can try some gentle neck and shoulder stretches, yoga poses such as fish pose or plow pose. You could do some breath work, singing, reading aloud, journaling, or practicing difficult conversations out loud. That can help, okay? It can help activate and strengthen the energy of the throat chakra, okay? Remember, healing isn't about becoming louder, it's about becoming more authentic, okay? Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is speak our truth with love. Other times, it's honoring our boundaries without guilt. Every honest conversation you have with yourself and with others strengthens this energy center, and it allows you to live more fully as your authentic self. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this reading resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Your experiences may also encourage someone else who is walking in a similar path, okay? Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video if you feel called to do so. And I'll see you in the next chakra healing reading, okay? Until then, take good care of yourself and trust your inner wisdom. And remember, your voice matters, your truth matters, and the right people will never ask you to silence either. Okay? Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.